I got told in the grocery store that I looked like a school teacher the other day.
You do have a lot of cardigans.
See, I have my driving sweaters.
Fashion.
Law
I can
enforcement.
order them anytime.
What about me? I'm wearing my cat sweater.
Just, I would straighten your mic just a little bit.
Hey, what's going on?
We're professionals.
I'm sure it appears that we're perfect.
And welcome! Last time we were on here, I broke it.
You like how I didn't help you at all?
Tell them to do better.
No, that was fine. What do you mean to say? I think it's been pretty even, Justin.
Don't put this in there.
What was the question? Welcome to another episode of Canocla Chatter.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Tim.
We sat down with Rebekah Rickstrew, the chief of police in Caldwell. We touched on the evolution and growth of cybercrime and the crazy statistics associated with that. And then kind of her role as the chief of police in Caldwell and what she does to investigate and combat that. So it was really a great conversation.
I learned a lot, so we know you will too, so stay tuned.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today. If we can just jump right into it, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role at the city?
I'm Rebekah Rickstrew. I'm the chief of police for Caldwell. The police department is tasked with the safety and security of the citizens and everything.
How long have you been chief of police for Caldwell?
I have been the chief since 2019.
Before that,
Wow.
you were an officer,
I
right?
started out part-time in 2017,
Okay.
became full-time 2018, 2019, interim chief, end of 2019, became the chief.
If you kind of think from when you first started in the law enforcement field to now, have you seen crime change or an evolution of crime or just more and more different types of crime added on to the same old story?
With everything, technology progresses, so crime progresses. Where used to, it was always the simple gift card scam, go put this much money on a gift card and then read the gift card numbers. Now it's getting more complex where they're still using gift cards, but they're accessing it in different ways. So it's definitely progressed on the technology side. Skimming was just starting to get popular when I started, and now it's mainstream.
Can you tell us, for everyone listening, what skimming is?
So skimming is where they can put a device on any of your pay at the pump type deals, ATMs, anywhere that your credit card can be inserted. It uses Bluetooth technology to read the credit card numbers and the account numbers, and then they can take just a Walmart gift card that's blank, that doesn't have any money on it, anything that has the strip on it, and program those to act as a credit card.
Wow. So, like, even if it doesn't say the number that they stole, it's just that chip. They can just use it. No
So
matter
think
what.
of it like how hotels, when they program your key card, they deactivate those after each person stays. They program the new room number. Same concept.
Okay.
Those are ultimately the reader devices that can program cards.
Have there been any? Sorry.
Are you gonna?
Have there been any cases in Caldwell of skimming?
Yes, we actually had a rather large one 2 years ago. There were multiple people that were hit with that one. It was a group out of the Oklahoma City area that was coming down doing it. We did catch them. They were charged. They were convicted. But it was a big one because they were accessing people's accounts and then coming to Caldwell using those to purchase fuel. And so there was multiple victims involved. I mean, you had the individual victims, you had the company that they were getting the fuel from. It was quite the large organization they had. And we do work very closely with other agencies through like we call it KIA, which is the Kansas Intelligence Association, to where if somebody has a lot of scams going on, we put it out to this to see if anybody else is having the same thing. That's how we were able to identify the people in the scamming and the fuel thefts, was we put it out there, and we ended up hearing back from Midwest City, Oklahoma, because they were able to identify our people because they had already dealt with them down there on the same thing. And then there's others that you'll get to the point where it's like, all right, I'm going to be able to get them. And then it runs cold because they were identified, but they were using a false name at that. Another big scam that I've only seen one of these so far hit our area, but it's a rental scam. So an individual had posted on Facebook in search of rental, must be at least 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, like a lot of people do. And the scammer had private messaged, I have 2 properties in Caldwell available. Well, they get the pictures of houses that are actually for sale, have a for sale sign. They explain, the realtor that has that works for me, but she's on vacation, so I'm handling it. Would love to get you in this house. However, we require a deposit for you to come over and look, blah, 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 blah. And they're hitting either Apple Card or crypto.
Wow.
And this person purchased the card, gave her the numbers on the back, and they got $250 from them to view a house that wasn't even that person's to sell or rent.
No,
And
go
he's
ahead.
going to get mad at me.
No, I was just going to say, you do see that a lot on Facebook, like people, especially in people trying to come to smaller communities, like searching for that. So I could see that being an easy target.
Yeah. So like with that one, for instance, my recommendation, if somebody, I work for this, or this realtor works for me, be like, okay, well, I'll call that realtor tomorrow, and call the real estate office to double check. Or if you know who actually owns the home, because let's face it, this is Caldwell, we kind of know who owns what homes. Even, call the person that currently owns the home and, hey, is this person trying to rent this out for you? They contacted me. Don't take things at face value.
That is a great example of the right crime or the right scam at the right time. And that information is public knowledge. So it's hard to wrap my head around sometimes, but I need a constant reminder that all of that information that is out there is going to be used against you. Mm-hmm. And the public knowledge, they're catering these crimes to you individually. Mm-hmm. They're personalizing that. Like, yes, that's nationwide that they're probably doing that rental scam, but they're personalizing that to a post that they found probably on the Caldwell page.
And that's what they're doing. They're creating fake profiles. They join the community Facebook pages because they know, hey, everybody's friendly. They're going to help me find a home.
You just need to always
They're
be aware.
looking at an opportunity to make money.
Yeah. What do you think some of the reasons are people don't come forward to report these kind of incidents?
I think a lot of it is possible embarrassment. Nobody wants to admit to being conned out of something until they see the level that it has gotten for them. They don't think about, well, yeah, I clicked on that link, but what's really going to happen? Well, a lot can happen, especially if you don't take immediate actions of locking down, changing your passwords, locking down your security more, things of that nature.
I would just like to add in that I think shame does play a part in it. But if anyone listening or watching, I want to just remind everyone it can happen to anyone. And most likely it will happen to everyone. It just has to be the right scam at the right moment in your life. And we've seen people of all ages fall for that. It's going to happen. So the more we talk about it, the better. And the more we can talk about it with each other, the more types of scams, because there's a new one every single second.
Well, I received an email from somebody that I was expecting to receive an email from to click on the document. It was a spoof email. However, it was because one of the biggest things you can always do is go ahead and look at the email address they're sending it from. If it's the PayPal scams, it may say PayPal in the first part, but if you go ahead and open that up, it's going to have a whole bunch more stuff than just PayPal on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this one didn't. It was from that person at whatever.com. It was had their signature line and everything. And I click on it and it took me to another site. So I immediately didn't do it. Emailed them, was like, did you send me something? No, that must have been spam. Well, then same thing happened. My email went out to a few people. Well, I immediately went in, changed my email passwords, did all of that. The good thing with mine is I have all of my stuff set for two-factor authentication.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they did try to remote into my computer, they wouldn't have been able to without it coming up on my phone for me to hit the two-factor authentication.
Yeah.
Which is annoying sometimes when your phone's in the other room and you're trying to log in.
Canocla, they kind of taught me to slow down because our IT department will send out emails like that, but it'll be like IT@gmail.com. And if you're not, like, if you just see it, it says like IT department or HR, like they've got me, like we're supposed to report them as phishing emails. But it's taught me to slow down and like just make sure you're reading the email.
Well, and you can set up your emails to detect spam.
Mm-hmm.
You can set up your phone to detect spam. I know Verizon has it to where if it has extra security to where if it looks like or it has been identified as a spam number, it doesn't even ring my phone. It just goes straight into a spam folder and I don't get that call.
That's like the text messages too. Sorry.
Yeah. A week later, you're
yeah.
going through and it's like, man, there's a lot. And you got to clear them all out because it never even rang or came to your inbox. The PayPal one has gotten out of control. I've worked a case where, unfortunately, that individual lost $20,000.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sure you've probably gotten them before. It looks like a PayPal invoice.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, call this number to speak to PayPal. Well, they call the number and then it turns into, oh, well, we're showing you have this. Log into this account. And it has them, basically what they're doing is they're tricking you into doing a remote login.
Oh.
To where it looks like it's your PayPal account on your end, but on their end, they now have full access to your computer because they're controlling your computer. They open your bank accounts. They find out what money is in your bank accounts.
Oh my gosh.
Then they can create look at your bank account. You've got this $20,000 refund that was given to you by mistake. And then they get the person to send them that money when in reality they never had $20,000 extra into their account.
Oh man.
So it drains their account.
They recognize PayPal as something they used before and then proceed from there.
But if you look at those invoices that they send on those, it's very obvious not a PayPal or email that's coming through. They've created it to look like a PayPal. But you click on open up the email address the whole way and it's PayPal dot blah 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 instead of just what PayPal would be coming through as. One of the biggest struggles we have is law enforcement is constantly evolving to combat things, technology, all of that. But the cost of the technology for us to be able to access a lot of things is outrageous. Small departments can't afford it. we do have access to use the Forensic Science Center, KBI Forensic Science Center, but that's in Topeka.
You have to go to Topeka to access it?
Certain things we can mail, other things we can't mail. So any kind of, if I'm taking a phone or a computer, anything like that, we can't. They have to be charged and on when they get it. So you can't mail that. So
Wow.
you have to figure 3 hours up, all the paperwork it takes while we're there to drop it off. So that's can be a 5 minute, it can be 2 hours depending on how many people are ahead of you in line, and then a 3 hour drive back. So one case, one cell phone, or one computer that I'm taking up there is going to take me out of the office one whole day just to get it there and dropped off.
Wow. So you probably are a frequent traveler or know the road to Topeka.
I know
very
it quite well.
Yeah.
It is the
I have my
longest.
bathroom breaks mapped out.
It's very just.
That ride through the Flint Hills. Beautiful. Not dissing that.
It's
Nobody
very
get angry,
pretty.
but it's a long drive.
Except for when it's raining, when we had the torrential flooding and all of that not that long ago.
Oh, you were driving to Topeka?
It took me 8 hours to get back from Topeka.
Oh my gosh.
Because there was zero visibility. Roads were flooded. It was horrible.
Wow. That's crazy.
If somebody is scammed or they fear it's a scam, would you say always contact your local police, or would that be their first step?
I would say if you feel like that you have either been scammed or have almost been scammed, to let somebody know. Us, yes, definitely. Call 911. I know people do not like to call 911 because they don't think it's an emergency, but that is literally the only way to get a hold of us. Because there's a lot of times, and I have given people the information, be like, I think this was a scam. They didn't get anything. Okay, well, here's the website. Go on to here, report your scam. It's not a police report, but it's helping to track these because eventually that particular one will get shut down. Yes, they'll open up a new scam, but you can't get one shut down without knowing, because just like the statistics, these are low numbers. You know they are because there's a lot more people that have been scammed that have not reported it.
So I was looking up some statistics, and I know that you have some, but one thing I found interesting is that might put it into a little more perspective. Of the, what was it, $16.6 billion of a fraudulent loss from all of this cybercrime that happened in 2024. Kansas, since we're Kansas and Oklahoma, Kansas was a little over Kansas lost over $80 million, and Oklahoma lost over $113 million of that. So just thinking about lower population states that we are, that is a huge amount.
Well, and of the Kansas one, the demographic of over 60 was 23 million alone.
Wow.
So the average loss per person, how they kind of figure what the average loss is 16,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't put this statistic down, but I do remember that 60 plus demographic. They were the ones who reported it most as well. So shout out to everyone 60 and plus who is reporting it. I don't even fully understand how much that, you probably do, how much that actually helps solve or prevent future issues.
It does. And one of the things that I encourage people to do all the time is go on to the Federal Trade Commission, because they have a report scam thing, and that's not a police report. That's on top of the police report. And that's how they can further track and try to identify, as well as highly encouraging people to do credit score checks, because just because you sent them this doesn't mean they're not taking a little bit here and here that you're not noticing. Federal Trade Commission has amazing material to help you on what they also call the scam recovery afterwards.
Speaking of red flags, the gift card one, what are a couple more like red flags that you like, bigger ones that people should look out for when it comes to scams like this?
Any kind of legitimate organization, regardless if it's the IRS, the CanOkla, the bank, they are not going to ask you to verify your social security number, your personal information. They're not going to ask you to verify that if they call you. One thing I always recommend with that is, say somebody were to call from CanOkla and be like, hi, I need you to provide me with this information before we can talk to you about your account. Okay, I'll call back. I'm busy. And call the organization, call CanOkla, call the bank, call the IRS. You might be on hold forever, but call the IRS because that way you're talking to the real person. Another one is the grandparent scams. Yes. I guarantee if your grandchild is in a jail in Mexico, they are not going to be calling you for bail money because they're not going to get to call you, But before you send the money, call their parents, call their brother, call their sister. Verify that they are really where this person is saying they are, and don't just give them the money.
What's going on in Caldwell on October 22nd?
So October 22nd, I'm going to go to the senior center and visit with them about scams, what to look out for, all of that. I believe Leah's going to join me.
Yes, she said I could come.
Just with October being Cybersecurity Month, really want to hit some things. We're going to be having some different, at least once or twice a week, there'll be a different thing that the police department's putting out on Facebook. I am quite excited for my post that's coming out tomorrow. I made a deep fake.
Oh.
I've never made a deep fake. It does have the watermark on it, though, because I wasn't going to pay for the watermark-free one. Just to show people how easy it is to take a random picture and your voice recording and generate a whole different video. And if you think about it, all of us have videos on Facebook. All of us have our pictures on Facebook. Yeah. Lock your Facebook down. Make sure your profile is not a public profile to where as soon as Joe Blow types your name in, they're going to get every picture, every video you have.
Yep.
Just be cautious. Everybody is vulnerable. Everybody has the potential to be a victim. And criminals keep finding new ways to do it.
And, every day just smarter, like, I hate to say smarter or more clever ways, but they really do. Just like ads are more personalized and know exactly what I want, even if it's just in my mind. Yeah. It's the same for cybercrime, that they will know exactly where to hit or beat you down with enough different ones that eventually it's going to happen or you're going to slip up. So we'll keep an eye out for your post tomorrow. And if somebody isn't following the Caldwell, tell me the name, Caldwell Police Department page?
Yes.
Then they should.
Right. And we also always share everything to the Caldwell, Kansas page just so we can reach more people.
Can you tell us, you brought those folders today to show us, which we are definitely going to keep some here if we can. But those are something you always have available?
Yes, I always have information on how to avoid scams, how to help recover after a scam by hitting, putting alerts on your social security number and all those type of things. People don't realize you are eligible to get free credit checks through your credit bureaus. And most of the information I get is from the Federal Trade Commission. And it has just great information. And then if you go onto their website, it gives you a lot more education on things.
Can't say it enough. You and I both agree statistics are where it's at, $16.6 billion, just in the U.S.
Yeah.
That wasn't worldwide.
That's crazy.
And that's like a 33% increase from 2023. So.
All right. Well, thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming and talking to us about this stuff. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we look forward to your posts.
Yes.
Yes. Well, and I look forward to you joining me on the 22nd at the Senior Center. Anybody can come.
Yes, I will be there. I'm excited because we serve a lot of different communities. We have a few senior centers, so we'll visit those this month. And we have these podcasts, so lots of information available. And I love that people may not think about our local police force as a resource, and you're making even more of a resource with the stuff that you sought out and what you're posting online. So the education is out there, especially right here in our community. Hey, that was really good.
Hey, that was a really good closing.
Wow.